remember, it's not just about what you give, but it's the heart with which you give with.
Because I realized, in order for us to have more, we got to begin to not be closed-minded and not close our hands. And when it's time for giving,
now ripping what you had sown.
Yes, and so this is why we got to redefine giving. But you got to realize something, because you might be giving something today, that don't mean you're going to get it tomorrow.
That's right.
It could be 5 years from now, but don't stop giving.
My point in going to that is that when we do something, don't do it just to make one person happy.
Yes,
just because it's the right thing to do.
Yes, that's.
Let's chill. Hello, hola, bonjour, sanibonani.
Namaste. What up, Chaplins chillers? It's your boy, Coach LJ. Yes, and I'm with my co-host, my best friend, my business partner, my arsonist, the one and only Lady Siza. She is in the building. So yes, are you ready for another empowering episode of Chilling with the Chaplins?
I would say transformative, because our episodes, Friday episodes mainly.
Transformative? Okay, transformative, okay. Yeah. So are you ready for another transformative, practical episode, Friday episode of Chilling with the Chaplins? Because we like to be practical chillers, you know that. Yeah.
So today I think we're going to be touching on the power of giving.
Yes. The power of giving.
If you know people who have given, you've seen how blessed they are, or givers rather, how blessed they are. So we're going to just unpack and learn together on how your seeds of generosity can actually rip a harvest, a beautiful harvest for your life, and how we can transform, because we said this, we're a transformative episode, right? How we can all transform our lives going forward by just being givers. And remember, we're not talking just givers of money, okay, or monetary, whatever, but givers of time, givers of
energy,
positive energy, givers of skills, sharing. Just to share
resources, whatever resources it may be.
Right. And some of you right now, your closets are almost at breaking point. You don't want to let go of certain clothes. Go do a spring clean and just go give someone, bless someone, because somebody's trash is always somebody's gold.
Yes.
What you don't value, somebody else will value. So let's touch on that. Let's see how we can actually make this 2024 the greatest year ever by starting off by giving. Because giving, I think, is in line with even gratitude.
Yes.
Because when you give, you know that the universe, God, whatever you want to call your higher power, has a bigger, has it all, has more than what, has everything for everybody. We all can benefit from what God has out there for us. People hold on to things because they think, if I give this away, what if I don't get something back in return? Or what if nobody gives me? So let's talk about that. But our title, if I could put a title onto our episode today, is Give More to Gain More. Oh, yes, I love that.
Yes.
Unlocking success through the art of generosity
in 2024.
In this year and going forward.
And going forward, yeah. And in order for us to give more, get more, we got to give more.
That's what it is.
It's very important that we can't close up our hand. You know why our blessing is locked up or closed? Because we don't open up our hands. And so we got to begin to open up our hands to be able to give more. And so to get more. So so I like that. That's the powerful.
To give more.
Yeah, to give more.
Open up your hands to give
to
more.
Give more, yeah.
The Bible says, blessed is the hand that giveth and the one that receives.
Yes.
If we use God's principles, really, the sky's not even the limit.
No, it's not.
But the question is, are we...
We limit ourselves.
But are we, as Chaplain chillers, givers?
Yes.
Do you see yourself as a giver?
Do I? Yes, I do.
What have you given and how do you give?
I give with my time. I give with my resources. I give with my gifts and my talents. I give money. I have a great example, and we're going to get to that a little later. But I have a great example that I looked at all the time. So I'm giving is because I realized, in order for us to have more, we got to begin to not be closed-minded and not close our hands. And when it's time for giving, be monetary gain. That I don't have the money, but a lot of times you don't have to have the money.
It doesn't have to be money that you're giving.
It could be just giving up your gifts and your time and volunteer, whatever it may be. You could give something, until you get it. It's just like, if you want a job and you want people to notice, you might have to work for free or do intern, do intern or volunteer,
or even at the job that you have for promotion purposes. Go beyond and above what is expected, what you get paid for. So that they see that you're a valuable asset.
Yes.
So I want one of our very greatest good friends and mentor and mom, really, Pastor Dennis. She's one example of a woman that I say is a giver.
Yes.
She doesn't have much. She's just a regular woman.
Yes.
But she gives. Like, we expect checks, surprise checks, like, we don't expect them, but we get surprise checks in the mail, like, what?
Yeah, like.
When, how? And she would keep quiet. She won't even ask you to get it or whatever. Like, she is just, on her birthday, it's about other people, not her, where most of us, we expect, on our birthdays, but for her birthdays is when she's giving, not expecting to get. And I think that's a very good example of a giver, because where I'm getting at with this example is that it's because when we asked her, why are you such a giver? I think one of the reasons is her mindset, is that when I give, I know God will return it anyways. I will never lack. Because I'm a giver, and that's also your mom.
Yes.
She has the same mindset. Why can't we be like these ladies? That if I give, God will surely provide, and that's what they followed for in their lives, and you see the fruits of it. So I think this episode, as we started off, it's about mindset. Changing our mindset.
Redefining giving.
That's the right word. Redefining our mindset.
Yes.
Into why it's important to be a giver rather than a taker.
Yeah, it's and redefining that mindset, redefining giving, changing how we say it. We always want. We always take it that we have to begin to give first. The Bible said that is more blessed to give than to receive. So the more you bless, the more you give, the more you can be blessed. It's giving is. You get a greater joy when you give to somebody. When it makes you feel good. So you got to, and here's the thing: is go back to that abundant mindset. Having that abundant mindset of, what, I'm not. And another thing, I'm not giving to get something in return. Give sometimes.
Don't be an expectation.
We give expected.
We're ready people to. I'm trying out an experiment this year where most of my I love to celebrate birthdays. Like birthdays for me is like a mark of God having blessed you for another 365 days around the earth or the sun or whatever you want to call it. And just being alive because it kept you another extra day, another extra year. So as a result, I like celebrating people on their birthdays. But I thought, what? Probably people are celebrating me because I celebrate them. Let me hold back a bit this year and see if I'll still be celebrated if I don't be celebrating them. I'm not saying I won't wish people birthdays or whatever, but I go all out. I do those personalized messages and all that with their pictures and blast it on social media just to make them feel special. And I thought, especially the January, February people, let's see if when my turn comes in March, will they do because I have not done? Will they do to me? Will they celebrate me rather, having not celebrated them on their birthdays? Or do they do it because I did it You know, it's tricky. I wish my birthday was in November, December, so that I see throughout the year that because I haven't celebrated certain people, will they celebrate me? Because now it will be kind of a thing that in March, when my birthday comes, when people celebrate me, I have to return the favor because people are expecting that, right?
Yeah. And that's the thing, what we define in giving, because the thing is, do it.
Because out of a good heart.
Yes.
They didn't wish me a happy birthday, so I'm not going to wish them. Oh, they didn't give me a gift, so I'm not going to give. That shouldn't be how.
That shouldn't be. You should give it regardless if someone do it. It's because it's coming from your heart. So regardless if they do it or don't do it, you still should be able to give gratitude, thankfulness, show support. You still should be able to, regardless, because a lot redefine it, because you gotta understand your reward is not coming from the individual anyway. Your reward is coming from above. Right. You know, so when you understand that your rewards is far much greater from outside sources, that whoever you believe
and there's more where it came from.
Yes. And so this is why we had to redefine. We don't do anything unless someone do it for us.
Right.
And you should do it. And it goes back to, Pastor Dennis again. She do it because it's in her heart.
And she's not expecting.
And she's not expected from anyone.
And when she gets, she's like, you shouldn't have.
Yeah.
Excuse me, lady.
Yeah.
I should have. You deserve it.
And now when you see things like that, you want to do more for that individual, and this is why, it's very important to begin just to redefine giving. Like, you know what, this was in my heart today. I was thinking of you, and so I'm just doing this because from the kindness of my heart. I'm not expecting nothing in return. Just like when I told the young lady from the mastermind, the other young lady that was in her mastermind, I said, a lot of, if you can't do it, you can't do it. Nobody can expect you to do something, or nobody can expect you to be there, and so if you can't do it, you can't do it.
Just to please
just
me.
To please, yeah.
Because you're not there full-heartedly.
Exactly.
You're there just to show face.
Show face. And so if you're going to...
And that puts a strain on people when people do things just to say, oh, you know what, I showed up. No, don't just show up.
No.
People want you to be there full-heartedly.
Full-heartedly, yes.
It's like when you came with me to celebrate a friend over the weekend.
Yes.
I really didn't like how it looked. Because you came in, you just... you didn't want to take off your coats. You didn't even want to
But
eat.
it was the reason why.
But then the people don't know.
I know.
And it looks like I dragged you now to the
Yes. I know. But I didn't want to say anything.
With your coat and you covered yourself.
I know.
And people were like, who's that guy?
But
so my point is going back. Well, I'm not saying this to embarrass you or anything, but I'm saying that people will be like, oh, he was forced to come here. No.
I wasn't forced. I wasn't forced to come. I wasn't forced to go there. But you know why. And so the reason, and like I said, I didn't want to go home because of that. So I just stayed and just kept my coat on because I was feeling cold and I wasn't feeling too well. And so I just like, okay, I didn't want to go because it seemed like soon I got to the event, I started not to feel well. And so I'm like, you know what, let me just keep my coat on, so that I can stay warm. So
my reason of why I'm bringing this example is that, it's like we've come to celebrate someone, but we're not really there.
Yeah.
When you do something like this, like, I don't want to be here. I don't even want to try the food. I don't even want to say hello to anyone. I'm just okay in my little corner.
Yes.
And to a person who doesn't know that you're now not feeling well, does not look at it that way.
It don't. But I didn't want.
No, this is not about you.
Okay.
Us going back and forth. I'm just making an example. I know that you were sick.
Yes.
But then what I'm saying is to the third person, it did not look good.
It don't look good. I agree.
My point in going to that is that when we do something, don't do it just to make one person happy. Do it because it's the right thing to do.
Yes, I agree with you. I agree with you.
And it's not going to make other people feel awkward around you, because some people will do things and make other people uncomfortable.
Yes,
you know?
yes.
So that's where I was
Yeah,
going with
I agree with you. I did wanted to be there. You know, I wanted to be there, but like I said, because I wanted to keep my distance because I want feeling so well. So you know that's why. But I get your point. You don't want to go somewhere just because. Just to be there. You know, if you're gonna be somewhere, you're gonna go somewhere. You're gonna say, if you tell somebody you're gonna be there, be there. Show up.
Show up with the gift. Listen, I went to this party. I had absolutely I didn't have the money to go buy it, because this lady, she's you know, somebody in the somebody world. You know, she's done well for herself. Let me put it that way. So when you get invited to somebody's birthday who's really done well for herself, what do you buy that person? Because they kind of have everything, right? So I try to be sentimental, but because I want to bring a gift, because that's what I am for birthdays. Or I just love to. In fact, for any gathering, I'd never want to go to any gathering empty-handed, even if it means I'm bringing cold drink or what you guys call it, soda or whatever. I want to bring, because that's how I was brought up as an African child, that you have to bring something.
Yeah, we was brought up that way as well.
Oh, I'm not sure about that. But anyways.
I'm saying, but maybe not. This generation is a different breed.
Yeah, but I still see people our age group who still come in with nothing in hand.
They probably wasn't trained, or they probably didn't.
So my point is, I brought in my little gift,
Yes.
something sentimental from South Africa, and then one book, one of the books that I wrote, because I know it would mean something to her, because she also has a similar situation that I don't want to put it out there okay, one of my alopecia books, and because she has alopecia, she had confided in me about it. So, because I'm not mentioning names, so it's okay. So I shared this with her, and signed it and everything. So that for me, that was, at least I brought something to the party. And just also being there, having driven for 1 hour, 30 minutes, that's a sacrifice at night. You know, going from one state to the next, that's a sacrifice. So my point in addressing this is that it's really not what you're giving.
Yes.
You know, it's the intention behind it as well. Like I was brought up to give, to bring a gift, a sign of offering. You know, so this is me. You know, it might not be much, maybe in your eyes or in other people's eyes, but it came from the heart, and that's why there's a saying that says, it's the thought that counts. I think that's where it came from. That okay, at least I thought about something, rather than a person who just came empty-handed, expecting to be fed and entertained for free. You know, it's not like you're buying a plate, but it's like, you know what, I'm meeting you halfway.
Yes.
You know, I think also another example was with our wedding, because in America, people, instead of bringing like actual gifts, they bring an envelopes with money. You know, some people would bring $20, and you're like, you know that we paid like $150 for your seat. We're not saying we pay for your seat, but because you're going to a nice fancy place, at least bring a decent gift to meet the bride and groom halfway. I love what Nigerians do. Oh, Nigerians, my people.
Your people.
Listen, Nigerians, they are the epitome of giving.
That's not worse than the people that don't bring none at all. They come to a wedding and don't bring nothing, you know.
And especially when they're affording, when they can do it.
Yes, when they can do it.
You know, at least
that's even worse.
The thought that counts, at $20 is
better than nothing.
Zero.
Yeah, better than zero.
And then you come empty-handed, and then you expect
a plate.
Everything. Of course, you're gonna get a plate because it's a party, it's a wedding, whatever. But you'll be the critic of that party. Oh, they didn't do that.
Yeah.
But you didn't do this, so why are you the one having a big mouth about it? But going back to Nigerians, oh my people, they are the egg. But some of them do it for the wrong reasons, but who cares, okay?
Yes. Some of them do it for the wrong. They want to be show. They show face. Yeah,
show off.
Yeah, they
like,
show.
What? I see most videos. These videos trending on social media. They'll be carrying like this much of cash, and just. Some of them, I went to this wedding, they had a money gun. A money
gun?
You gotta be loaded to have a money gun. Like, and He was just pressing, looking at left, right, and center. Like,
And money was coming up.
they spraying the bride and groom, just pressing. The money was just flying, and I'm like, oh my God. And you look at like where the bride and groom would be, and you think, I wonder how much they've made. You know, some other brides and grooms start their life with that money that was donated. Like they're able to buy like nice furniture and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because the money that's being sprayed is so much. And I wish that even though it's a show-offy kind of tradition, but I wish that we could copy that style from Nigerians. Even the gifts that they give out at weddings, like at the end, during the course of the weddings, reception, are gifts that come from relatives, from friends.
Yes.
Like they bring in to give the rest of the guests bags, diaries, journals. Like they would bring in different things. So my point is, Nigerians, you're doing the right thing.
And even another example, even when you go to a service, I'm trained that when you go to a church service,
something in your hand.
Have something in your hand. Yeah. Don't go empty-handed. Never go to a church service empty-handed. And now, if you don't have it, I get it. I understand it. Sometimes things is hard, but and this is why if I don't have, I try not to go.
But that's not the right thing.
That's not the right thing. But a thing is though.
But as a pastor, you get judged. Oh, they didn't stand up for offering. Like it's not always good. It's not. We're not always financially, able.
But the thing is, I was trained though.
I think, is it not the Bible that says, don't go to the house of the Lord empty-handed? No, maybe it's just people saying that.
Yeah.
But
you shouldn't go. You should, it talks about giving, but you should not go empty-handed. You should always be willing to go into a service or wherever you go to. You should go with it. Yeah, be ready to give. And this is the thing we got to redefine. Giving, we hinder our blessing, or we hinder doors being opened up to us because we got to close hands. I'm going back to where
frugal.
Yeah, frugal. I'm going back to logic. So what's in your hand? What's in your hand, because you got to be willing to work with what's in your hand. So that thing that's in your hand can be multiplied. How many times that I've seen that my mom's didn't have much, but she gave. And because she gave, she never went hungry. We always had a place to eat, bills paid and everything. But she always, and we used to like, man, why you always give me a lie? You can do this.
But she knew the secret.
Yeah, she knew the secret. So that's a secret. That's the true secret to success. Giving. Because of her life of giving, this is why God blessed us to have our own business. When she was uneducated, and she started a business where she was doing very well for herself, and she, there was no lack in the 90s. She had no lack. She would come and go and buy what she want to buy, be able to fix up her house. Why? Because it started it in the 70s and 80s. She planted all the seeds all through the years, so that when the 90s, that it just came to us. So
now ripping what she had sown.
Yes, and so this is why we got to redefine giving. Because you got to realize something. Because you might be giving something today, that don't mean you're going to get it tomorrow.
That's right.
It could be 5 years from now. But don't stop giving. The more you give, the more you're going to be blessed. The Bible say, give and it shall be given unto you. Good measure, pressed down, shaken together, running over, it shall be measured. It shall be measured unto you with the same measure you meet. So this is why we got to redefine giving and keep giving regardless. If you don't, give what you have. Give what you can give. Give what you can afford. Because what you can afford and what the measure you're going to meet, they're going to come back to you. It might be 5 years from now. All the seeds that you planted. And
it might not even come to you. Maybe you're planting it for the next generation.
For the next generation. All the
seeds. You find that
seeds.
your kids or your grandkids are so blessed, and people are wondering, what did they do? Oh, it was moms or grands or great grands seeding.
Yeah, so all the seed like that you planted, like even like with us doing this podcast, we plant the seeds. We not getting paid for YouTube, but guess what? We come in here showing up, helping you to empower, share information to empower you to be better, to do better, so that you could be better individuals, so that you can grow in your individual life, in your family, with your relationships, with your money. So we give it, but like I said, the seeds that we planted today, we don't know when's gonna happen. We don't know when it's gonna come, but we know eventually it's gonna come. But at the end of the day, though, we doing it because we understand the principle of giving.
Right. So So let's talk about the power
of service.
Of how important it is just to. I mean, okay, let's look. Let me put it this way. There's love language, right? And one of the love languages is service.
Service.
Most men, and including you, that's their love language.
Yes.
Being served, selflessly, doing something and not complaining and. So let's talk about that.
Yes, yeah, because that is my love language. Service. I love my wife. Serve. I love my wife. Help me, and we building together. You know that I love that. So, but doing it selflessly. You know, doing it because not because I want you to. Doing serving because this is something that you want to do. But
sometimes when you serve, it's not because you want to do it, but because you know that it's
for a greater cause,
and it's going to benefit the next person. But of course, you have to not do it grudgingly. You have to do it with your heart.
With your
that's
heart.
When you are able to reap from it. You know, if you just do it, let me just do it just to make him happy, or to shut him up, then that's not
real service.
Not the right
that's not right.
Yeah.
So, you know, you want to do it not with that, like you said, with that mindset of serving. You want to do it because this is something that you want to do. I get a great joy to see that individual happy, and there's a greater purpose, there's a greater cause. And so, you know, even like with myself, you know, I love serving, I love giving back. I love, you know, anytime, you know, I can see someone being blessed because of my service, or, you know, or this is why we ask for feedback, because if anytime I can see someone, you know, be able to take what we said and apply it to their life and benefit from it, I get greater joy with that. That's better to me than money. Yes, I take the money. The money is good, but just to know that individual is doing better. And so even like now, I made a difference, a positive impact, and a positive contribution in somebody else's life, even though I might not benefit. And that's service. Serving, you might not benefit at that moment. You might not benefit, but guess what? Because I do it because I want to see that next individual better. That's serving. You know, if you're serving because you want them, you're looking for something in return, or you're serving then because
it's the wrong reasons.
Yes,
the wrong motive.
And because you got a lot of people that join cliques and join different things because they feel like, you know what, if I join them, man,
I get aligned to this person.
What happened?
If I'm aligned to this person, then I might just benefit.
I might benefit from it, and so I'm just serving them because, you know what, I know doors gonna open up. I know this opportunity will come. That's the wrong thing to do. You're not.
Because what if it doesn't, and then you're gonna now
be disappointed.
Yeah.
You go to that person that have a big name or whatever, and people do that with churches. They go to these big mega churches because they feel like, oh man, if I go to the church, I'm gonna be seen. Oh man, I might get put up there. Oh man, but what happens if it doesn't? You know how many people that join churches and they join it and for that reason and never was put up?
Because God sees the heart.
God sees the heart.
And He will close those doors because you are doing it with the wrong motive. So let's do things with the right motive, for the right reasons, because God sees a pure heart and your intentions, and then that's when doors will open. Because God can open doors even in a small church.
In a small church, yes. Open up doors. Because you got to remember, I said the scripture before, Psalms 1 and Psalms, it say, promotion need to come from the east, nor the west, nor the south. God is the judge. He could put up one to put up another. So regardless, it doesn't matter where you may be in your situation. You can be in a big church, you can be in a small church, you can be in a small organization, you can start small. It doesn't matter. As long as you giving yourself and you serving, you presenting yourself a living sacrifice. Right. A living sacrifice to do good, to do what's right, to serve others, to help others, then guess what? At the right time, because God, He know when to bless you. He know when to open up doors. Because a lot of times when we are ready for it, when you are ready for it, the teacher would, they say when you're ready, the student will appear. So at that right time, it will happen for you. You don't need to go to this libraries, planes, and join. Oh man, I gotta join this person. Or I gotta do it. Nah.
And end up doing things that are going to be morally wrong, just because you want to be aligned to certain people.
Yeah, and that go back to selling your soul, because now you're doing things like, man, I gotta be here, and I gotta do this. Nah, man, nah. So yeah, just serving, just to serve, and just because it's in your heart to serve, because it's a bigger cause, and that's what something that you want to do without joining other things. You don't have, at the end of the day, when you serving a big God that has all power, that could do all things but fail. He could do whatever he want to do at that right time. But you just got to put yourself in position by serving selflessly, not doing it. And like I said, when you keep doing that, eventually your day will come.
That's right.
Your day will come.
So let's talk about investing time and resources, because people are like, okay, we hear you guys. You're talking about giving, but I don't have anything to give. What do I do? So am I going to be labeled a person who's not a giver just because I don't have material things to give? I'll make an example. Over Christmas, we have big families. I personally, right now, am living beneath my means. I'm trying to minimalize as much as possible the way I'm living, because I don't want to be in debt for no reason. I have enough on my plate. So I made a conscious effort not to give out gifts on Christmas. I will gift you on your birthday if I have it, but on Christmas, usually it's for the little kids, like my God's children or whatever. If I have it as well, if I don't, listen, I don't have it. Now, does that mean that I'm not giving because of that? Or can I exchange the gifts for time? Okay, I'll babysit, because I know that, parents once in a while want to take a break, or they need somebody to stand in or whatever. So it might not necessarily be gifts or money, but it could be your time. It could be other means, like we said, resources, skills. It could be anything
volunteering.
Else, anything else besides what people normally see as giving.
Yeah, but investing your time and resources, it doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, we do have something, and this is the thing that we got. This is why we have
everybody have something.
Yeah,
to give.
This is why we have to have our vision that we have is right in front of us. Just like going back, I just said earlier about, Elijah told the woman, "What's in your hand? What's in your house?" She like, only got a little small crude oil. But that's I'm to feed my children. And he said, you know what? Feed me first with that. Minimize the thing that we do have, because you feel like, oh, it's not going to be accepted.
We look down upon
We look down upon it, and we just got to begin to have vision to sometimes, even that, when you invest your time and energy, you want to start a business, or you want to start a podcast, or you want to do whatever. What's in our hand today is our cell phone. You don't need a fancy camcorder to record. I can't start a YouTube channel because I don't have the professional layout, or I don't have. What we got to do is start with our phone. Every day, they getting better and better with these iPhones and with these cameras. So
got to do with giving.
But it's still, I'm saying, investing resources and time. You're still giving yourself, like, whatever you want to do. Like what we do every day. We giving our resources. We giving time. We giving energy, because it takes time to record these episodes, but we do it. We giving our resources. We giving our knowledge. We have knowledge in us, and we giving our resources, things that we know, things that we experience. We have some experience, or we have some knowledge that we can share. That's a resource. That's a resource. What's in the things that you learn over the years? I tell young people, I know that a lot of times the advisors are not going to tell you, but I tell them, make sure when you're in school, do an intern. Once you get into your junior year, do an intern, because they're not going to tell you that. And so internship, yes, do an internship before you graduate, so that you have some experience, because you don't want to go to school and you didn't do an intern, and then once you graduate, internship, yes. And then once you graduate, you see, oh, it's hard to get a job, because they're going to look at it, you don't have no experience. And so this is why I tell people, like, do internship before you graduate so that you gain some experience. So things like that, just give, that's not money. I'm just giving something that experience, my knowledge, my expertise that I learned over the years when I was in school that I wish somebody would have told me. Right. But not looking for anything in return because I know I'm helping somebody else. So that's giving my time, my energy. Just stop it. We live in a busy world. We don't want to take the time to stop. Stop.
So true. And I think jumping on to our next point is that, Zig Ziglar said it very well, that he says, help enough people get what they want in order for you to get what you want.
Yes. And that's something that we have to continue to do. If we help enough people get what they want, you'll eventually get what you want. If you keep helping, you keep serving, you keep giving, eventually you're going to get what you want. See, and that's how you got to see it. Like, what, I'm doing it to help others. Not knowing that my blessing, and it might not come from them. But guess what? I'm going to give and I'm going to help them.
In most cases, it doesn't even come from the people that you've helped.
No, it don't.
And you shouldn't even expect it.
No, you're not supposed to. But you keep giving, you keep helping enough people get what they want, and eventually you will get what you want because eventually the doors will open up.
Absolutely.
Eventually the door will open up because you help enough people get what they want. You help enough people to achieve their goals and their dreams. Eventually your door will open.
I think, it's all about, I think Zig Ziglar had the right mindset because it's all about understanding the power of helping and of seeding. Mm-hmm. Because when you help people, you're getting something in return.
Yes.
Most rich people will tell you that I have it all, but I find a lot of pleasure when I do philanthropy work, where I'm just giving without expecting a return. So that's when they get fulfilled because they've got the money. They got the resources. So what's that one thing that's missing? I think if you look at the hierarchy of needs,
self-actualization is the highest.
Self-actualization is the highest, where they've gotten all of the human basic needs. Now it's just to say what can fulfill me beyond that's beyond me, and that's giving to others who do not have.
But here's the thing: don't wait till you get to the top. You start when you at. Even if you're on the bottom right now, if you're on the bottom of the thing and you at the knees point, don't you start right there and you build it up. People, I'm gonna wait till I get to this. No, you're not gonna do it. If it's not in your heart,
it's the same thing as tithing. People say, "I'll wait until I make so much money," and we were taught as young children that you tithe with the little that you have.
Yes.
Because when the money gets more and more, it's harder.
It's hard. Yes. So you think it's going to be easy. You said the key word. This is why you want to develop that habit and starting now, so that as you grow, it gets easier because you're already doing it. It's already a routine given right where you are. So now you're not missing nothing.
It's not painful.
It's not painful when you're doing it, and it's already a habit. It's already a routine. Giving and tithing to me, it's already a routine. To give. So it's much easier as I grow. As I develop, as I go higher. So definitely. But you continue to help people to build. You continue to help people to grow. You will eventually get what you want. And this is the thing about, we want to get out of this episode, to let people know that, your day will come. Because maybe you feel like, man, I gave all the, I'm
a giver.
Nobody
ever gives me anything. And I used to be like that before, up until I just let it go. I was just like, you know what? I've planted a seed. Let me not expect from the same people that I've given. It's going to come to me when it comes to me.
And so the Bible said, one planted, another one watered, but God gives the increase. And so when you understand these different philosophies and these different principles, one planted, another watered, but God gives the increase, then you understand that, yes, even though you give it, you giving because you have a reward coming someday. And that's the principle of law and sowing and reaping. Every time you sow, there's got to be a harvest that come back to you. Your harvest could, it could come 5 years from now. It could come 10 years from now. It could come a day, the next day, or whatever. But the more you sow, the more you're going to reap. And so this is that there's a principle. And so even like with sowing good things and sowing good deeds or whatever, or sowing negative deeds, a lot of times we, if you sow negative deeds, then you're gonna get negative deeds back.
What you give is what you get.
What you get is so
karma is a real deal.
It's a real, yes. Karma is real, and so even like when you we got to think about this. When you go into the store, when you go into a store, and you're like, man, you feel like you got away with something. But can I tell you, you didn't get away with nothing. This is why you always want to be honest. This always, because it always come back to your worst.
In a different form, maybe in a different time, but it comes back.
It come back. So it doesn't matter what you give on earth. It doesn't matter what you get, negativity or positive, it's coming back. So I'd rather give good, because I know good's going to come back to me. I know, and I tell people, I tell people, I say, man, regardless of what they do, because I feel like, man, people, if they stole something or whatever, you take somebody, you found something on the floor and you feel like, man, this is my cell phone, because cell phone is expensive. You're like, man, I found me a cell phone, man, but don't you know it's something else that you probably want that you're gonna lose, and you're gonna wish somebody else return it back to you. So karma is there's a law, sowing and reaping, and it's very important that we respect the law, because when we respect these laws, then good things will always come back to us. So do things with the right motives, do things with a cheerful heart, do things with gratitude and service, because I like this, because our God, our big brother Jesus, he was the ultimate sacrifice. He's the greatest giver out of all, because he gave up his life, for mankind. So he gave up his life for the sins of the world. And so if that's the greatest gift that anyone can give, is give up themselves. So so definitely when you have this mindset, this given mindset, great things will come back into you. And so I want to say this, because we're talking about giving today, and it was in my heart, because we do have a mentorship program, right? 6-month mentorship program. And so we know that the mentorship program, because I'm about giving, I'm about helping people. And we know we have a quarterly plan, we have an annual plan. And maybe not everybody have that type of money. They want to start a business, they inspire entrepreneur, but they don't have the annual plan. And so I would say, if you want to work with me and you want to learn more about business, definitely hit me up. Email me at support@nextopportunitywindow.com. support@nextopportunitywindow.com. If you want to start the business, we could work out a payment plan. We could work out something monthly or whatever for those individuals that want to join the 6-month mentorship boot camp, because I want to help individuals establish their business, structure their business, and learn how to research their business so that they can be better having a sustainable, scalable business, as well as even with the community, that the promo code is still out there for individuals that anyone who wants to join the community. All you got to do is promo code is episode 100, and you could join the community for 6 months and get all the resources and everything that you can for 6 months. Like I said, and take advantage and learn and grow, because I know the benefits there. So it's about giving, and I want to help as much people achieve their goals and their dreams, because 2024 is our time. It is our time. And so, but we got to be in position. We got to get into position, for the door could be opened up today. And so we got to be willing to, give what's in our hand to be able to gain more. So, so I would like to say, as we define our giving, as we begin to give more to gain more, as we begin to add value. I know we did a mastermind last year on everyone communicate through connects, and one of the things we talked about on this mastermind is connecting to others. And so what we're doing when we add a value, when we giving our gifts and our talents, we are connecting to those individuals who one day could support us, to be there for us, maybe buy something from us. We are connected. So if we don't give, how can we connect? If we don't give, how can we connect with people? How we know, how people know that we really care? Because what, rest in peace, what the young lady that passed away, she said it's not, most people, it's not what they see today, or it's what the last.
Which lady you're talking about? I don't know which lady. A lot of young ladies.
Okay, but the older woman, the one, she's a poet. She the last thing she said is what you do last. I'm always pushing these. I'm always pushing these quotes, right? I'm always pushing these quotes, but it's the last thing you do that people will remember. That's the last thing it is. So people don't remember what you did yesterday or today. It's what you did last. And so that's basically what I was trying to get to. And so as we continue to give, not worry about what people are doing, we are connecting. We building relationships. And this is what it's about, because virtually, in person, nonverbal cues. When we give, we showing that we care. We showing that we care, and people, again, because God, remember, people don't want to be sold, and so when you show that you care, people are like, oh wow, they really care for me. So now when you have something that you're offering, because you gave enough right in the beginning, they know you care for them, right. And so another thing too, because I said this on the mastermind on last week, on this past Saturday, we're in the mastermind right now, the 21 Infutable Laws of Leadership, and we've done chapter 3, the law of process. And you're welcome to join the community. Again, you're welcome to join the mastermind. It is available. You want to come? We got 4 more weeks left, so you're welcome to join the community, get into this mastermind, because it's a good discussion that we're having. But one of the things I was saying in the mastermind that when we were discussing, because a lot of times we've been hurt, and this is why we don't want to give. And what I say during the mastermind,
you want to give because you've been hurt.
Sometimes because you've been burned.
Okay.
And so now you feel like I can't give now, So people hurt me, and we looked at we sometimes, because what the last person done, we just think everyone's like that. And we can't do that, because we're all different. That because one person, even in a relationship, a lot of times you get in a bad relationship, you don't want to get the next man or the next female a child, because you feel like the last person hurt you, and the next person, and that don't mean the next person is gonna hurt you. And what I say in the mastermind, I say you can't be like this. You gotta give people a chance to fail you. You gotta just give yourself, give your gift, give your talents, give your resources, just give, and give them a chance to fail you, because you never know. They might fail you, but guess what? They might not. And if they fail, okay, you know what? That was a bad apple. You know what? I keep moving and I keep going. Yeah.
Some people don't fail you intentionally, though.
Yeah, but, yeah. Yeah, some people do, but you still got to give it. You got to give them a reason to fail. You still got to you can't look at it.
They say give them a long rope.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I said. I'm gonna use like my mom used to say. You got to feed them with a long handled spoon. You got to give them a chance to fail. Feed them a long handled spoon. Of course, you tease it. You get more, and then every time you get them a little bit more, you get them a little bit more, and you just give them a rope to fail, to hang themselves. You get them a rope, but guess what?
Don't do things just because you want people to fail.
No. I'm just saying, that was just an analogy. You're not doing it you because we've been burnt so much, but you can't, because a lot of times we feel like we're not doing because we've been burnt. So basically it's saying you just gotta get them a reason. Just give because you want to, because it's in your heart. Right. Not because they're gonna fail you, but you just like, okay. Because you never know. You can't just say, "Oh, I'm not going to do it because."
So, what kind of failure are you talking about when you're saying give them a long a rope to hang themselves? What kind of giving are you talking
I'm just saying, to get them a chance to see if they would fail you, to see if they would burn you.
Oh, it's like you're expecting, you're giving people.
No, you're not expecting. You're not expecting them. But I was saying that because if you could, a lot of times you're not doing it because you've been burnt, and so because people did fail you, and now you're looking at the next person because the last person have failed you. And you can't look at the next person or the next situation because of the last situation. Going back to scripture, Paul say you can't look what's behind you. You gotta look forward. You gotta press forward towards the mark in the high quarter. So you gotta keep looking forward and keep going forward, regardless of what happened on the last time, regardless of a failure or misunderstanding, regardless of
all right, let's
what
wrap
happened.
this up. Let's wrap this
Regardless
up.
of what
we
happened.
get the point. And
Yeah, so that's what I mean. I'm not saying you're not expecting them to fail you, but that was just an analogy that I used to say, give them an opportunity to fail. You're not expecting failure, but you
get
just
the point.
Okay.
Over-explaining.
Hey, could you? I want to. You know me. A lot of times, I sometimes I do go extra. Sorry, I thank you for your patience with me. But sometimes I go a little over to explain things to get my point across.
Over-explaining again.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's a wrap, chillers.
Yes.
Thank you for joining us for this enlightening journey.
Yes, thank you.
Through the world of giving. Let's just be givers. Let's just give without expectation. Because we know the results of being a giver.
Yes.
Remember, it's not just about what you give, but it's the heart with which you give with. And as we always say, give more and live more.
Yes.
Stay tuned for more insightful discussions here on your favorite channel.
Yes.
Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. All right.
Yes.
Leave a comment and share this podcast with your friends, families, frenemies, enemies, strangers.
Yes. Come on, let's continue the engagement. It's very important.
And for those who have subscribed, thank you for being a family member. We love you. We appreciate you. And on that note, we want to say keep growing, keep chilling.
Yes.
And keep smiling.
Yes. We say take care. And if you enjoyed this episode, check out the next episode we have for you right here. Thank you. Deuces.
Take care.
Peace.